Okay, so I know this is not news for obviously the Sarah Boone fans. I know I'm really behind. Sorry about that, right? Real life happened. But let's not waste any more time on this intro. I'm going to look at this for the very first time. I have a grosso modo idea of a little bit what has happened. I know there was a lawyer that offered the services. I understand she was sentenced, but I don't know the details. So we're going to look into the details, and of course I'll give you my commentary about it. And also I'm curious. I want to see. I do have some time. I'm going to sit here for about, it's early enough. Listen, aren't you glad the holidays are over? Oh my God, that's for another story. Thank God it's freaking January 9th. I'm over this mess. Call the holidays. Exhausting. Anyway, before we start, consider dropping me a like. Of course, subscribe if you haven't done so. And if you want to do more, you have options in the description below. All right, let's get started. Sarah Boone, I cannot wait. And why the straw? Long story. I'll tell you in the Let's Talk. Let's start.
Yep, Your Honor.
Defense, do you recognize our jury? All right, thank you. Y'all can be seated. Members of the jury, after seated and comfortable, if you could raise your hands to confirm that you complied with the court's instructions during the break. Record reflect all hands have been raised. With that, state has rested. The defense is going to put on a case. Defense, Mr. Owens, you can call your first witness.
The defense would call Sarah Boone.
Okay, wait, first of all, I'm loving the suit, Sarah. All right, okay, you look very presentable. Very prison-like. Sorry, I need the straw. Long story. PACT Nation. Very, very like, I'm Sarah Boone, darling. Yeah, I love it. Second thing is, I love the way she walked there. Like, she got something to say. She's upright from the hip, shoulders back. She's walking as if like, you know who I is. I love that. I love this sense of confidence. This is what I say about these sociopath and narcissistic monsters. They know how to fake this crap. You know, like, I wonder, I wish I was a little bit vapid in the head. And that's the problem when you have intellect. Sorry, I'm smart. When you have intellect, is that you care too much. I wish I was a deadbeat who didn't give a crap. Now look at me here, caring about the whole world and its problems. Oh, and envy stupidity. And envy it. Anyway, let's see what she has to say.
Ms. Boone, would you please tell the jury where you were born and raised?
Atlanta, Georgia.
You were born in Atlanta?
I was born in Atlanta.
And how long did you stay in Atlanta before you moved here to Florida?
I was 3 years old, 3 or 4.
Okay. And from that time, y'all moved, you and your family, your mother and father, moved to Orlando?
And my grandparents.
Okay. Y'all all moved down from Atlanta down to Orlando?
Yes, and my 2 brothers.
Okay. And were you raised here essentially from that time on?
Yes.
And you resided here in Orange County, Florida that entire time?
Yes.
Okay. And where did you go to high school here locally?
I did.
Where did you go to high school?
Edgewater.
Okay. And tell the jury, how old were you when you graduated?
I was 18 years old.
Now, I know you lost your mother and father.
Overruled.
I know you lost your mother and father in your teens and in your 20s. Is that true?
I lost my grandfather when I was a sophomore in high school, and I lost my father when I was a senior. And then my mother passed away a few years after that, and then my grandmother passed away after my mother died.
All right, so you were in your 20s when all that was going on?
Yes.
Okay. And then at some point in your 20s, you met Brian Boone?
I did, yes.
All right. And how long did y'all date before you married?
A good handful of years. I helped my family with paying mortgage and bills for the house since my father had passed away and my grandfather, so...
So you worked outside the home?
I did.
Okay. Can you tell the jury when you said you and Brian Boone dated for a while? Do you remember when y'all married?
I do.
Could you tell the jury when y'all were married?
The year?
Yeah.
Um,
You remember the date?
it happened to be, yes, that after my mother passed away, that he had waited to ask me to marry him because he knew it would be,
Objection, non-responsive.
Sustained.
Just answer the question if you can, Ms. Boone. Are you a little bit nervous?
a little bit.
Okay. Well, just tell the jury if you remember the date that you and Brian Boone married.
August 21st, 2004.
Okay. And had y'all lived with each other for a short time before that?
Short time.
Yes. Okay, after you married, how long was it before y'all had any children?
Gosh, 6 years?
Okay. And y'all have one son.
Yes.
What's his name?
Lucas.
And how old is Lucas now?
Lucas will be 14 years old on the 28th.
28th of this month?
Yes.
So you and Brian were married and y'all lived in Orange County. How long were y'all married?
For 13 years.
All right, and y'all divorced?
Yes.
And as part of the divorce, were y'all to share custody of your son?
Yes.
Quick interruption here. I'm just trying to understand a little bit, why are we starting this story in terms of their defense, right? So I'm assuming the defense is going to be battered spousal syndrome, and I can somewhat kind of see the road the defense is kind of going, that she was so young and she had to be an adult for such an early age, and look at her getting married and having other responsibilities and having so much trauma of losing all her family members. Therefore, maybe that's why she's not thinking correctly, right? I'm trying to see how is that all relevant to the defense of battered spousal syndrome. I'm curious to know. Oh God, you're already interrupting, Alistair. You have literally an hour left. Stop interrupting every 2 seconds. Can't help it. You've been okay. I hope you've been good. I hope the holidays were great. I hope the gift you got was worth it. Worth it? Worth it? That's right. I said worth it. And I mean worth it. All right, press play.
And so y'all would split days, would that be fair to say?
Yes.
At some time after you and Brian split up, did you meet George Torres?
Yes.
All right, could you tell the jury how you met George Torres?
I met George when I decided to buck up, I guess, and was tired of trying to patch things up with my ex-husband. And I decided to go one day for a walk across the street and go have a beer by myself and sit and people watch, just to get out of my house and a change of scenery.
All right, now is this your apartment?
No, this is the marital home.
Okay. Where is that marital home?
Winter Park?
You're no longer living in that marital home?
No.
Who lives in the marital home?
No one. It has been sold.
Okay. So you met George Torres before you got the apartment?
Yes.
Okay. And you met him at a bar across the street from the marital home?
Yes, we had a mutual friend there.
Were you introduced?
Yes.
All right. How did you and George get along when y'all first met?
Very well. It was strange how quickly we hit things off and had so much in common, and I never thought that he would be interested in someone like me, and I just couldn't believe that he was actually interested in me and said a lot of nice things, and 1 hour ended up being 4 hours from when we had first met, and then we would always have something to talk about.
Why couldn't you believe that he would be interested in you?
He was very handsome. He was very funny. He was smart, and I would show up in workout clothes and disheveled hair, and I guess I kind of felt broken from being in the process of the divorce that he knew about. But then one of the things that we could relate also was the fact that he was here in Florida because he had just been divorced from his second wife. So that was another topic that he and I could compare notes on.
So eventually the divorce was settled. Did you get your own place?
Yes.
Is it fair to say that after at first you lived in your parents' home, correct?
Yes, until I was married.
And then you moved directly in with Brian,
Yes.
and then y'all lived in the marital home, correct?
Yes.
And then you got this apartment.
Yes.
So that was the first time in your life that you actually had your own place.
Yes.
And what was the address?
4748 France Court, apartment number 3.
And what city is that in?
It's in Winter Park.
How far is that from here?
20 minutes?
Okay. So you got that apartment, and initially were you by yourself?
No.
All right, tell the jury.
In the almost year, about 10 months of separation from Brian, my ex-husband, that is the time when I met George. And my ex-husband was trying to buy me out or force me out of our marital home, and I needed to find somewhere to live. And
So did you and George agree to rent the apartment?
yes, I needed extra income. We could not afford it, just on my own.
You were receiving some income from the marriage settlement, were you not?
Yes,
So you did have a consistent monthly income coming in from the marriage settlement,
for the most part, yes.
but you needed more to live.
Yes, to pay the bills and for rent.
So did you and George have some agreement?
We did.
All right, what was the agreement?
The agreement was that if I decided for he and I to live with one another, because it would be under my name, that he would help with the monthly bills and on a regular basis, where it wouldn't be something that I would have to argue with him about. It would just be an automatic, make sure that everything's paid first, and then from there, hopefully have some fun with it.
Okay. And so I understand from that point on, would it be fair to say that y'all saw each other on and off for about the next 3.5 years?
No, I would consider us a couple. At some point, he asked me to marry him.
Okay. But y'all did have times where he left and went to live with his parents?
Yes.
Is that fair?
Yes,
And there were times where there was an understanding that y'all were going to break up?
multiple times.
Okay. All right. So,
Okay. This paints a picture of a very unstable, not only unstable relationship, but an unstable person. This paints the picture of someone who has no business being in a relationship. So I don't know where he's going with this questioning, but if I was the jury, I'd be like, girl, this does not explain why you killed him. If anything, because you're a grown up, this shows how irresponsible you are. And let me explain. There's a few things so far which I'm a firm believer that as a human being, oh my God, Alistair, come down your high horse. Now listen, to be fully fledged grown up, you need to learn the hardship of owning your own place. Learn the hardship of paying your bills on time. Learn the hardship of, being financially conscious, financially literate. You have to learn all that before you start booing up to somebody else. Because I can guarantee you right now, most likely she was in a position where she had no financial say or financial power. She was at the mercy of her ex-husband and whatnot. And it seems to me, from what I understand so far, is that she was at the mercy of George paying the bills, or most of the bills. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So she's just a big ball of resentment because she's being, there's a sense of unaccomplishment, a sense of powerlessness, right? Which could make someone lash out or want to thrash just to show that, I want to feel like I control something. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So if I was the jury in that aspect, it would paint you, Sarah Boone, in the worst light. That's just my opinion.
Now, I want to get directly to the date of this event so that the jury can hear your testimony. All right? So tell us, I believe the date is February the 23rd of 2020. Explain to the jury that whole day, from the time y'all got up, the whole thing.
Sure. Let's go.
Approach.
Oh, did he object? Look, she is getting her throat moist and ready to probably lie. With a little smirk on her face. The microphones are muted. I guess it's like private conversation. How dare you? I'm a citizen. I'm a taxpayer. Why are you laughing? Ooh, we're getting to the nitty-gritty. Yeah, Sarah Boone, what happened? Isn't that what she wanted this whole time? To tell people her side of the story? That mute button is very long. What are you talking about there? Oh, that's the bailiff. The bailiff I like. The good-looking one. She came and fixed the microphone, which I agree. I agree because I was like, Sarah, I can't hear you, girl. Listen, not for nothing. The reason why I'm drinking with a straw is because my dentist said I have too much coffee
Objection's
stains.
overruled for now.
Now, Ms. Boone, let's just, instead of one long speech, let me break you up over the course of the day. So, do you remember the date of February 23rd, 2020?
Yes.
Do you remember getting up?
Yes.
All right, just tell the jury about that morning. What y'all did that morning. What you and George spent the night together at the apartment.
Yes, at that point, he was living there.
Yes. So y'all slept in the bed together, upstairs, February. So y'all would have gotten up that morning, February 23rd of 2020.
Yes.
All right, tell the jury what happened when y'all got up.
He was already downstairs, and I went downstairs, and he wanted to start the day off by drinking because it was a day off from his job. And I talked him into cleaning and tidying up the house for a sense of accomplishment. So that is what we did for however long that it took. So we did tidy up the house and got everything in order, and it was kind of a reward, I guess, to be able to sit and enjoy ourselves and sit on the back porch.
All right, what do you mean by cleaning up the house? What did y'all do?
We swept and mopped. We folded some of the laundry. I know that we did the dishes, emptied the dishwasher, just general run-of-the-mill tidying up.
And did you have your son coming the next day?
Yes, that was one of the reasons why we were able to do that.
What was the arrangement you had in terms of the next day would have been your day to pick up your son from school?
Yes.
What time would you pick Lucas up from school the next day?
I believe his school ended at 3 o'clock.
Okay. So you would have been responsible to pick him up, and he would be spending the night with you that night?
Yes.
So you wanted to have the house nice and clean?
Yes.
How many bedrooms are in the home?
2.
And you and George had one bedroom?
Yes.
And who had the other?
Lucas.
All right. Is that exclusively his bedroom?
Yes.
All right. So how long would it have taken y'all that morning to clean?
I don't really remember what time we woke up, but maybe a good 2, maybe 3 hours.
Okay. And would it be fair to say that you and George both smoked cigarettes?
Yes.
And would it be fair to say that you and George both drink alcohol?
Yes.
All right. So at some point, y'all finished your chores,
Yes.
right? And then y'all were going to enjoy the day.
Yes.
All right. What was the plan?
It was just kind of, we've got the day to ourselves. Let's just kind of relax and go with the flow.
Did y'all make a decision that y'all were going to start drinking?
Yes, we had a half of a bottle that was already in the refrigerator, and I did not want to go out afterwards. I, again, had Lucas coming the next day, so we went over to Publix to purchase another bottle of wine so we could not have to go out later on that evening.
Now, you were here in court when the state the state played the video of you two and the public's purchasing the bottle of wine?
Yes.
Is that what you're referring to here with the jury right now?
Yes.
Okay. And that was around noonish?
I believe so, yes.
Okay. Had y'all started drinking the leftover bottle before going to the public?
No.
Okay. So, y'all bought a bottle of wine?
Yes.
All right. And how did y'all get to Publix?
My car.
How far is Publix from your apartment?
5 minutes.
How would you get there from your apartment?
What do you mean?
Did you have to go across any major highways, or is it right there?
You just come out of our apartment complex and you do a little U-turn and then you come up and it's right in that complex.
Okay. But it's easier to drive than to walk?
Yes.
Okay. Now, I know that sometimes y'all would simply need cigarettes and it was in walking distance. Can you tell the jury about that?
Yes, there was a AutoZone convenience store with, in the same, I guess, parking lot of our townhome, our complex, and it was just a straight shot from our apartment to a back gate, and you could get right into the convenience store from right there.
Okay. But y'all went over to get that bottle of wine around noonish, and how did you took your car?
Yes,
Did George have a vehicle?
we did not,
Okay. And how did you pay for the wine?
with my debit card.
And then y'all came back and started drinking?
Yes.
Okay, tell us what you did when you got back from the Publix.
Just went on the back porch where we usually spend our time because we're able to smoke cigarettes outside as opposed to inside. And
Is cigarette smoking not allowed indoors?
Yeah.
it is not.
Oh,
Okay.
my house.
Do you have pets?
Yes, I do.
Well, did you have pets?
I did, yes.
Okay. Were they with y'all there that day?
Yes, my dogs were with me all the time when I was there.
How many dogs do you have?
I have 2,
And just what are their names?
Penny and Tess.
And what is the breed?
They are red Boston Terriers.
And are they both disabled?
Yes, Penny is blind and Teff is deaf.
So when y'all went out to smoke on the back porch and drink, I assume, as well, correct?
Yes.
Did y'all take the dogs out?
Oh, yes.
All right. Is there a place for them to do their business out there?
Yes, I extended our back porch for them to have a little bit of area as opposed to going from a large backyard from my marital home to our little townhome. And they would come out there and do their business, and I could sometimes I would open the gate and then walk them in the back part of our apartment.
So you and George were just going to enjoy the day together?
Correct.
Is it fair to say y'all don't have a lot of money?
Yes.
And so y'all were going to do something there in the home? Y'all weren't going out for dinner or?
Yes, we primarily, I would consider us homebodies as opposed to going out and partying and doing this and that.
Okay. And how long do you think y'all were out that afternoon outside?
A few hours.
All right. Could you tell the jury what y'all did during that time?
We have a dartboard that's out there, and we just had drinks, and we're just really enjoying each other's company and talking about, things upcoming. We both were looking for a job and just kind of, I guess, encouraging and supporting and planning. And
Well, now you said he had a job. Was he looking for a job, a second job?
no, the job that he had was very unstable, and at that,
So he was looking for something new.
yes, at that time, yes.
Okay. And so during that 2 or 3 hours, would it be fair to say that y'all drank the bottle?
Yes,
Okay. So would it be fair to say that y'all were feeling the effects of the alcohol?
yes,
Okay. At some point, who made the decision to come in?
I did.
Okay. Why did you want to come in?
I felt that George needed a change of scenery.
Okay. So y'all came in, and then
Okay, so a few things I want to point out. Well, 2 things that really doesn't sit right with me. The first one is it's George's day off. He wakes up in the morning and he wants to have a drink. Now listen, we're not supposed to judge how you live your life on your day off. You can do whatever the hell you want. You know what I mean? Especially when you don't have the kid, it's just the two grown-ups. Sometimes you want to get up and walk around the house naked and suck on something. Why not? Why not? I'm a grown-up. Why not? It's not up to you or to, even my spouse, boyfriend, because they were not married, to tell me how I'm supposed to live my life. So the fact that she's like, no, we're going to clean the house instead. Now listen, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying. Hold on one second before you start throwing tomatoes. Because that's what she said at the beginning. And then right before I cut off, she was like, I felt George needed a change of scenery. That's why I said, let's go back inside. There's a controlling nature into this, right? It's not a systematic flow of things, right? There's like devious intentions going on in her mind. It's a controlling thing, right? So these are the two red flags that started. Really, that solidified a few things. Because in and of itself, all right, baby, it's my day off. I want to drink all day. No, how about we clean the house, then we can drink all day. That's nothing wrong with that. But when you combine the 1 + 1 together, the fact that she's like, no, you can't drink, you can clean instead. And then, okay, time to change the rooms. These two combined together create a context of devious intentions. Thirdly, drinking on your day off is perfectly fine. How many times have you done that? When you wake up in the morning and you're like, look, darling, all I want to do today is get shit-faced. Oh, really? Yep. Do you want to join me? Sure, why not? And you get shit-faced. Kids coming tomorrow. Have a good time. You have fun. What's the point of having a boyfriend or a spouse if you can't be a total slut sometimes? Do you know what I mean? Yeah, like who wants to be a nun? That's for the single people. Nah, we are married, we're together. Let's be sluts today. Why not? Where am I going with my thought? 1 second. I'll tell you a little bit. So the third thing, is they only got a bottle of wine. All right. So let's get a little bit serious here. There's only one bottle of wine that happened. And if you divide the two, right, so that's about 2.5 glasses per person. And if that's all they drank, because they have a half bottle of wine in the fridge already. So let's just assume they drank it all, right? Maybe 4 glasses per 3.5. That's still not enough to get you so shit-faced that you kill someone, right? And so in my mind, because as she's testifying and giving me the scenes of events, because I'm sure it's going to come to a point where they stop drinking, right? In my mind, you are not drunk enough to go ahead and kill someone, even if you're not happy. Like there is a premeditation going on there that maybe she got irritated with him from the moment they woke up, where he's like, I want to have a drink. I want to have a fun for my day off. Maybe she got irritated because in her mind, she was like, no, maybe how about you look for a better job or something, right? There's something there that tells me there's a premeditation. There's like, who do you think you is? I'm Sarah Boone. I control what you do when you do it. Matter of fact, I don't think you should be alive right now. Like there's something there that she just woke up with that mind. But honestly, let me ask you, isn't that the whole point of having a boyfriend or a husband or a spouse? Part of the point. It's that, some days you just want to be a total skank. Yeah. Nuns is for the single people. Yeah, be a nun. But if we're together, it's consensual, obviously, right? But sometimes you just want to be a whore. But it's with my boyfriend and it's with my spouse. Come on, let's be whores. All right. Let's continue.
Did y'all do anything else before he left again? Were y'all doing anything? I know y'all did some arts and crafts. What did y'all do? At some point, he went to get another bottle at Publix.
Yes.
Oh.
After I believe it was after it was right before I believe that we had gone inside. Because he called his daughters. I was trying to encourage him to call his family.
Okay, now where are his daughters?
His two daughters are located in Pennsylvania,
And what are their names?
Anna and Destiny.
And how old are they?
I believe that Anna is in her 30s and Destiny may be in her early 20s.
All right, does he have any more children?
Yes, he has a son.
And where does his son?
He is in Pennsylvania also.
Okay. So part of that afternoon is y'all came in to call relatives, call family.
No, I had him call outside, just trying to, I guess, boost the mood. And the first daughter didn't answer, and I don't remember the reason I didn't speak to the second one. I believe if he did, it was just for a moment.
All right, now whose phone were y'all using?
My phone.
All right. And is that common for y'all to use that, for y'all to share that phone?
It was because George said that he didn't have a phone, so it would either be lost or given to him by his mother. So I didn't know he had a cell phone, so we would use my phone.
So it was primarily your phone?
Yes,
Okay. And you took a lot of photographs that were on that phone?
yes,
Videotapes?
yes,
Text messages?
yes.
I know where we're going with that.
Yes, he and I both on the phone calls.
So he would use it as well.
Yes,
And that phone, is that the one that was seized in this case?
yes,
All right, so y'all called his daughters, and then during that phone call period, did y'all also call his brother?
yes.
Okay, and which brother was that?
John,
All right, now, how many brothers and sisters does George have?
I'm going to list them if that's okay.
Okay.
It's John, Pharrell, Isaac, Mo, and his sister.
Okay. And do they all live here in Florida?
Yes,
Are they close by?
as far as I know, yes.
What about his parents?
Yes,
They live here as well?
yes,
Okay. But his ex-wives and his children live up in Philadelphia?
yes,
Okay. So you called the girls, then you called, or George called his brother.
yes.
Was that conversation that long?
No, it was not.
Okay. And then after that phone call, were y'all inside by this time?
Yes, at this point, I believe that it was a good time to get a change of scenery. So I thought George would be better off inside, and frankly, I didn't want to be outside any longer either.
Okay. So just to get an idea, about this time is when he went to get the second bottle, or did y'all stay inside for a while before he left?
No, from what I recall, I thought the day was over, and it was going to be, get ready for the evening, for the day, what do you want for dinner, do you have an extra load of laundry that you need to throw in, kind of thing, and that was my understanding, and he said,
This was about 5-ish or something?
I don't remember the time.
Okay. At some point during that time period, did George go to Publix again?
Yes, I thought he was going to be walking to the convenience store, but apparently, when he returned, he had gone across the street with my car and my debit card to buy another bottle of wine.
What was your understanding of where he was going?
To the convenience store, walking,
For what?
cigarettes.
Okay. And you learned obviously that he came back and you learned that he'd used your vehicle
Yes,
and he'd used your debit card
yes,
and he'd brought back a bottle of wine from Publix.
correct.
And you saw the Publix video of that.
Yes,
So he comes back with the other bottle of wine, and did he want you to drink with him?
it was expected, yes.
Yes. And you agreed to consume the second bottle with him?
Yes.
Okay. So over the course of that evening, drinking the wine, what did y'all do for time-wise? Watch a movie, music, just kind of tell the jury what you remember. I know it's obviously been a while, but...
It was kind of a regular thing where I would always try to come up with entertaining activities for George.
Okay, I have to stop this because listen, she must really think we're dumb. I'm getting very angry because that's one of my pet peeve is waste my time to think like I'm an idiot. You know, listen to this very carefully. She has said multiple times already. First of all, I did not know that they went and bought another bottle, but she expects us to believe that Miss Controlling over there, that George had the willpower to even get out on his own. No, of course she orchestrated all of that. Let me tell you, Exhibit A over here. She encouraged him to call his family member. Bitch, who the hell do you think you are to tell me what to do with my own kids? Get out of here with that. Call your kids. Here's my phone. Call your kids. Right? Not only that, call your kids over there. What? Super controlling. Okay? And this is after what? Like two glasses of wine, darling. Then, in the middle of him calling his kids, she's like, all right, time for a change of scenery. You call them in the house. What the freak is that? And then you want to tell us that he over there, he took his own free will to go and grab your credit card, debit card, went to the liquor store without you knowing, with all that controlling mess that you're already exhibiting. You think you want me, a reasonable person, to believe this? No. She's obviously lying, and there's no way to tell the truth. She told that poor man, all right, go over there in that house because you need a change of scenery, and you call your brothers and sisters and whatever. And then she's like, oh my God, I want another drink. Open that little door and be like, okay, here's my card. You go over there, and you get another glass of wine. Okay, Sarah. And I don't want to wait any longer, so you take my car. Sarah, I don't think I can. Oh, you talking back at me? Are you out of your mind? Grab my car, here's my fucking keys. Take my keys. Huh? And get me another bottle of wine, George. All right, Sarah, I'll be right back. She wants us to believe that he, Mr. over there, who obviously is not thinking for himself, took his own 2 brain cells, inebriated brain cells, to make a decision for himself? Look, she was just about to tell us, you know, he came back with a bottle of wine. What is expected for you to drink it? Yeah. Of course you drank it. Of course. Like, I don't understand what picture she's trying to paint here. Her and her stupid, idiotic lawyer, that pro bono idiot. Listen, if this is the defense you got, you fail. I'm not even a lawyer. I'm not even that smart. I'm pretty smart. I'm not even that smart. I can already see through the mess. What kind of defense is this? 5,000 years to give us this kind of defense? Really? And look how she's talking. She's talking like she's, you know, why am I here? Yes. And then, you know, I took my debit card and then we went to get some wine. Yeah, and then he called his brothers and sister. And I'm, you know, made him call his, like, kids and stuff. Yeah, and his brother is John, Mary, Joseph, Henry, Paul. Yeah. What an idiot. What an idiot. Idiot. Both of you. Stoop me to your level. Sorry, for those who don't, I'm not an idiot, sorry. No. Guilty! Member of the jury, find you guilty! Damn! All right.
I bought a puzzle. We started off at one point doing a smaller puzzle, and then we did that very quickly. So then I purchased a larger puzzle, and I believe it was 1,000 pieces. So I thought, to get his mind off of things and to focus on something, it would be smart for us to do the puzzle. So for however long that took, we finished the puzzle. So that was one.
Every piece was finished or what?
Every piece was finished. It was strange that we couldn't find one piece, and we thought it was funny that it was like in like the perfect place on there. But yes, every one but one piece.
All right, after the puzzle, what did y'all do?
I decided to continue to maintain and focus him, and I have a bunch of paints that I used of my son's that his grandmother bought him. It's a very big art wooden box, and it's got pastels, pencils, paint, any kind of whatever.
Thanks, Mom.
And he and I were very much into art, and with this resource, it got him very interested in being more creative.
Thanks, Mother.
How long have you been into art?
Ever since I can remember. As a child,
You like to draw?
I like to do anything artistic.
And I know, we saw some of the pictures of your apartment, but it looks like there was pictures and artwork up. Is that all your work and George's work?
The majority of it, yes, are belongings from my home, and then also some of George's, yes, on the wall.
Was he pretty good at art as well?
Yes,
All right, so you both enjoyed doing that.
very much.
So y'all got out Lucas's art set. What did y'all do with that?
We were just, I guess, doodling, whatever. I would always tell him that everything that you make is a masterpiece. So just let loose and just let it go. And we would just paint and,
drink.
paint and drink, yes, and listen to music sometimes, and yes.
Okay. Now, with the dogs, did y'all get the dogs involved?
Oh, yes, my dogs follow me everywhere, yes.
Was there some dancing going on with the dogs?
Yes, after we had completed the puzzle and I guess we're painted out, I thought that it might be a good point for us to maybe listen to some music. And the music that George listens to is it's very fractious to me, and it was definitely not going to lighten the mood, so we ended up finding some channel on the radio, and he was feeling it, and then we ended up, my one dog gets very active and was dancing with us, and we were just having a good time listening to music.
So, lighten the mood from what, Mom? Because according to you, you're having a great time. Why do you need to lighten the mood some more? I mean, do you see the psychotic controlled situation that's going on right here? George couldn't even drink. He couldn't even have a sip or a cigarette unless Sarah Boone said so. The fact that she's telling us the inner workings of her mind is disturbing to me, because the issue is not that she's like, oh, let's go puzzle right now. It's like the step process in her mind, as she's describing, that's leading her to decide to pick up a puzzle. Because in her mind, she's controlling the story of their day. Oh, honey, listen. Children, kids don't watch me, but grandparents, hi, please tell your grandkids. Let me tell you something right now. Individual people, when you get with someone, friends, lovers, husbands, whatnot, they're not there to control you. Stop. No, I don't want to drink today. Okay. Or no, I want to drink again and twerk. No, I want to make the phone call outside on the patio. You could say no. What is this thing? It's like, I say so because I am the spouse of, or the boyfriend of, or the girlfriend is. I mean, granted, it's a gray area, but at the end of the day, you are the CEO of your own decisions. Do you know what I'm saying? And the fact that she was literally controlling every aspect of this man's day off. Oh my God, it's my day off. Shut the fuck up. Right? We're going to puzzle now. Or now we're going to draw. Now you're going to get in Suitcase. And I'm going to zip you up. Guys, George was the abused one. Yeah, we have the whole story of like, oh my God, they have domestic violence. Nope. With that kind of attitude that she's describing in terms of inner workings of her mind, she was the abuser. And it happens. Domestic violence, women towards male, happens. It's actually quite common. You'd be surprised. 27%, I believe. 27% of men are being abused by their spouses and girlfriends. 27%. It's a lot. But it's even worse for the abused men, because they are viewed by society as weak ass bitches, right? And it's like, no, don't abuse me just because I'm a guy. Stop it, right? Look at her. Look at those eyeballs and that stupid face. And and that stupid outfit. You know what I mean? Like, it's irritating to me. She's the abuser, and she doesn't even see the connection of the dots. These two, and that stupid lawyer is not even seeing guilty. I mean, I know she was found guilty, but if I was a jury, I was like, what the hell is that? If I was the law firm, sir, I'd be like, Henry, I don't know his name. Henry, is that what you went to school for? What kind of defense is this? You put a bad name on our firm. You're fired. Shit. But you understand my point. In what world does she think that's going to make her in a good light? That makes her look horrible. Guilty. Oh, she's so unlikable. I'm so glad she didn't have a good holiday. Hi. Anyway, look, we're at the midpoint. Hi, everybody. So, yeah, I kind of look like her a little bit with, obviously I'm black, but with, change this to a black color. If you enjoyed the show, thank you so much. Press like, subscribe. Yeah. I'm so glad the holidays are over. Do you know how much weight I gained during the holidays? 25 pounds. 25 pounds. You might be wondering, like, where the hell did that show up? Oh, wait. All right, next segment. And stay in the Let's Talk. 25 pounds of all this eating. Oh, having Italian in-laws. Good eating, though. It's too much.
Okay. And I guess it's getting pretty late in the evening.
Yes.
Anything else I've missed?
I killed them.
All right. So tell us where y'all ended up before you started the game of hide and seek.
We were there. I couldn't think of anything else possibly that I had to continue entertainment. But I remember sitting at the end of the couch and him sitting in one of my son's chairs that was in the living room and just kind of doing this. Like, what are we going to do now? Like, I very much would like to go to sleep.
Had y'all finished off that bottle that he had bought?
2 bottles and a half.
I don't remember, to be honest with you.
Bless you.
Would it be fair to say that as the day wore on, the more y'all consumed?
Yes.
All right. And would it be fair to say that as the day wore on, the more you consumed, the more effects you felt from the alcohol?
Of course, yes.
Both of you?
Yes.
Okay. So you would agree, would you not, that at the time y'all were trying to figure out something to do and you put your head down on the couch, that would it be fair to say that y'all were intoxicated?
Yes.
Tell the jury what happened.
At one point, I guess he knew that I couldn't come up with anything else, tapped me on my knee and said, "You're it." So from there, I ran up the stairs and hid into our shower, just waiting for him to find me so we could hopefully go to sleep soon at some point. And
Now, your shower, is it a tub or just a walk-in?
it's a tub, but it's in the master bedroom, and you have to go all the way upstairs, you have to go in the bedroom, and then you have to go into the bathroom part, and then there's the shower part.
So did you lay down in the tub?
At one point, yes, I was.
Okay. So you were hiding?
I was trying,
Okay. And did you believe that he was going to come try to find you?
yes. Yes, for quite some time.
All right. Then what did you decide to do?
That I decided that I need to go to sleep. I'm picking my son up the next day, and we need to start wrapping up the evening. And I went downstairs to find where he was.
And what, I think the jury has seen pictures of
Yeah.
your, would you call it an apartment or
It's considered a townhome.
a townhome? So you walk down the stairs, right? And at the bottom of the stairs is a bookshelf here?
Yes, at the very end of it, yes.
Okay. So you walk down the stairs and you turn and look in the living room. What did you see?
I don't even think I made it all the way down the stairwell because I was just looking for him as soon as I could, to hopefully go upstairs as soon as we could. And I looked over and I saw him settling himself in the suitcase.
All right, tell us about the suitcase. How long, is it an older suitcase?
Yes,
Whose suitcase was it?
This is George's suitcase.
All right, and did he use it for traveling back and forth to Philly?
Yes, I had recently taken him on a trip to go see his children in Pennsylvania, who he hasn't seen in years, and we took that with us. And because of how dilapidated it was, how broken it was, in the end, after that trip, we decided that we would donate it.
All right, and I understand y'all kept the suitcase upstairs.
Yes,
How long did y'all keep it upstairs?
since we had moved in.
All right. Is there a closet up there you kept it in?
Yes, it was in the master closet, the master bedroom closet, all the way in the back because of the size of it, and there was nowhere to put it, so it's all the way in the back.
So when did y'all decide to move it down from upstairs to downstairs? Was it that day or sometime earlier?
No, it was maybe a week or so prior.
Okay. And so what, y'all were gonna donate that to Goodwill, or?
Yes, we were going to do, I guess, a spring cleaning. Anyone who has children understands that they grow quickly, and there was a lot of clothes that I needed to go through of my sons, and then also from George and I moving in and just kind of putting everything in there, at one point where we just needed to actually go through it and organize it and get things more in order.
So is that the reason it was downstairs? You were gonna donate it and a bunch of things that you were gonna put inside of it?
Correct, yes.
Okay.
All right, let me just rebuttal something that this dumbbell is trying to make us believe, right? Okay, so this is apparently this is a couple who is brokely than broke, all right? So they go ahead and they spend their hard-earned meager cash to go and buy alcohol. Sure, why not? They buy 2 bottles of wine. They sit here and they consume the whole bottle. This entire time, she is essentially telling us that she is curating every aspect of the day. She curated the cleaning, she curated the boozing, she curated the entertainment to the last moment to where she feels like it's time to go to sleep. And she felt like, oh, he needs to play a little bit more. So she is, again, curating the last moment of entertainment because apparently George is so codependent. Their relationship is of mother and son, not boyfriend and girlfriend, that she has to curate every aspect of his living life. On the same token, she's trying now to explain something very fundamental. How does a suitcase get to where downstairs? How did that happen? Keep that in mind. George is dead, right? So he can't even testify for himself. So we're taking her word for it. And so she has to explain a few things that doesn't quite make sense, right? So her explanation as to why the suitcase was downstairs is because, darling, every couple of years after he travels, okay, we donate the suitcase out. Because everybody that has children knows that kids grow out of the clothes and then we don't. It's so stupid, I can't even repeat it. First of all, yes, I have a kid. And you know what? Yeah, they grow like freaking flowers. You just add water, it grows. Yeah, you change clothes all the time. But when was the last time you donated your suitcase? Please, this is not, rich people don't even do that. The rich don't donate a suitcase. What makes you think as a broke, poor woman, you're going to go and donate your suitcase? I don't have your mind. I don't have your mind. I don't have your mind. How is that credible? If something doesn't make sense, most likely it's not true. It doesn't make sense. A perfectly functional suitcase, you're going to go and donate it to Goodwill? Sure, clothes that are grown by the children, sure, why not? But a functional suitcase? Especially when you don't have the funds to buy a new one. Yeah, sure, we're broke as hell. Let's just throw functional stuff away and buy the new ones. Listen, as a jury, I'm like, girl, as a jury. Well, I'm a jury of public opinion, you know? This is another example in her mind. She thinks she can just fool everybody. Remember, Sarah Boone thinks she's smarter than you and me combined. And so she's just like, look into my eyes. What do you see? Nobody. She looks like an idiot. I'm just saying. I know nobody bought this, but she has fans. Remember, I'm sure some fans are like, yes, Sarah, yes. I knew you were innocent. Like that stupid lawyer. And not for nothing. listen, Mr. Lawyer, not for nothing, and this is why, look, not all promotions is good promotions. There's a reason why a lot of lawyers were like, I'm not touching this woman with a 10-foot pole, because it makes you look stupid, Mr. Lawyer. Stupido, stupid, nincompoop, and completely non-credible. If I found myself looking for a criminal defense lawyer, I am not going for you, sir. Because just looking at it from the outside, it's like, that's your strategy? Because listen, this conversation, she was prepped before by her lawyer. So this is what you both decided that's what you're gonna do? And even like if I'm a defense lawyer and you give me this, I'm like, wait, Sarah, it doesn't make any sense. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? But no, I'm telling you, people got bills to pay. That lawyer wanted the tax dollars.
So it'd been down there a week, so it was already down there.
Yes, George brought it down.
Okay. So you said that you got down there, you're looking for him, you see him settling into the suitcase.
Yes.
What did you do?
Yeah.
In my head, I said, oh man, we're obviously not going to be going to sleep anytime soon. And I walked over and he was trying to get himself flat, so I couldn't tell that he was in there. And then
Now let me stop you there. The suitcase, is it the suitcase over here in the
yes,
box? You've seen it, you saw it.
yes,
It's a pretty big suitcase.
yes.
How big is George?
George was my height. And
How tall are you?
I'm 5'3".
Okay. And how much did George weigh?
I thought it was 100 pounds.
Okay. And how much did you weigh?
I was 98 pounds.
All right. Do you agree you put on some weight?
Since I've been incarcerated, yes.
Well, at the time, though, y'all were pretty skinny.
Yes.
Yeah.
So from the pictures, it looks like y'all were both pretty thin.
Yes.
All right. So because of his thinness, is that how? And he's a small man.
Yes.
Okay. So he was able to get in the suitcase on his own.
Yes.
Did he willingly get in the suitcase?
He was already in there.
Okay. When you got to him, did he see you?
Yes.
All right. Tell us what happened.
I mean,
Yeah.
I zipped him up. We thought it was funny. And we're joking about how he was, I guess, small enough to fit inside of the suitcase.
All right. So what happened then?
From there, it was just, we were laughing about it. And it was just strange that he was small enough to fit in there. And then I kind of moved it around a little bit with him in the suitcase still. It was still funny that he was still in the suitcase. Just
Notice how she cannot explain that. Yeah, Mr. Stupid Lawyer, bringing your client to testify. What did you guys think? What did you guys talk about how to explain this mess? Yeah, it's hard to explain, isn't it? Yeah, so how is he dead? How is he dead? Since you zipped him up, how did he die? Because you could unzip him and let him go, right? Yeah, it's kind of hard to explain, isn't it? Yeah, Miss I controlled the whole day. She must be out of her mind. And look. Again, she wants us to believe this, all right? Hold on, I'm Sarah Boone. Excuse me. All right, so I'm Sarah Boone, and so George is over here. So this is upstairs, George is over here, and he's going to the suitcase. Sarah, I'm going to the suitcase. Oh, George. So I'm going down the stairs. Oh, you're in the suitcase. Oh, all right, let me just zip you up. Oh, put your hands away. All right. Oh my God, you can fit in suitcase. You fit in the suitcase. Oh, you can fit. You're so small and skinny. I mean, 5'3", 100 pounds. That is small, okay? Anyway, so, all right, you put in the suitcase, ma'am. All right, okay, baby, let me out. Explain that to me, because now, as you painting this stupid picture, I'm looking, and so, yeah, I keep talking, Sarah. Stupid. I can't believe this lawyer really sat you down and prepped you for this interrogation. Dumb lawyer. Honestly. Listen, lawyers are smart. but they're not all that smart. And I've experienced with lawyers, and when you look for a lawyer, you have to look at the past history. This guy was so blinded by his small little peanut brain and the notoriety of this case that he wanted tax dollars to pay his bills. He didn't realize that anybody with a modicum of intellect that needs a criminal defense, I'm not going for this lawyer. Matter of fact, get his name, allegedly. He could come and sue me. Get his name and make sure you block him in your mind. If I need a criminal lawyer, not him. And his firm. That's right. Because if he's working for a firm, all of you, I'm putting you all in question. 300 pounds. You know, I tried to fit in that suitcase myself. So I picked out the dimensions. And I couldn't even get in. I was like, oh my God. How? But I'm not 5'3". Much taller than that. I'm not 100 pounds. I am much heavier than that. I could, like, 1 foot took the whole suitcase. I was like, oh my God. I said, Christopher, you have to try a little harder to kill me with that. He's like, yeah. He's like, I don't need a suitcase, I need a truck. I was like, bitch. Anyway. All right, 36 minutes. I'm going to go over my recorded time anyway. But look, let's see her try to explain this mess. I'm out of coffee. Oh, there's a little bit left. Anyway.
I think he and I were just kind of couldn't believe that he could fit in the suitcase.
You said that already.
Did you eventually close the top?
Yes, the top was already closed. As he was settling himself in there, that's how I knew he was in there, was because the top was kind of flopping a little bit.
Okay. So he had gotten in there to hide, and he pulled the top
Yes,
on top of it. But you could tell he was in there.
yes,
You saw him right away.
yes,
All right. So at some point, did you zip him up?
yes.
Did you? And what was he saying or doing when you were zipping him up?
We also have a video.
I just thought it was funny.
He wasn't laughing.
Were you both laughing?
Yes.
And so you zipped him up. Were y'all still laughing once you zipped him up?
Yes.
Okay. Tell the jury what happened then.
From there, I moved the suitcase around a couple of times, just kind of on the wheels, and moved it around. And at that point, it was funny. We were joking and laughing about it.
All right, now eventually, did you go sit down on the couch and get your phone?
Yes.
Did I miss something?
Yeah.
Well, the suitcase had, for me moving it around, was flopped over. So while it was like that, I thought at that point I had a moment to, I guess, take the time to talk to him while I guess he was not able to get out for a moment.
So you flipped it. You got it on the top, right?
Yeah.
It gets in, but at some point you flip it over so the zipper is on the bottom.
Well, it was just kind of how I was moving it around, then it ended up kind of flopping, so,
But it was upside down.
yes.
What a
So
train
after
wreck.
you did that, what did you do?
That's when I went over and decided to videotape to just see the, I guess, the gist in it, for him to understand that right now I feel safe, and right now I have the ability to actually speak to you in a manner that normally I would not have the ability to do.
What the You see what I mean? First of all, she is relying on the lawyer to feed her the questions in order for her to latch on into every step to create a credible story that we can believe. So the conversation you and your stupid lawyer had, completely idiotic. I don't even blame her because she's a lunatic. This is a story she's trying to make us believe ever since the first time. I really blame this lawyer. I put, honestly, your entire schooling in question. What is wrong with you? Integrity. if you don't know what integrity is, eat something. because what? So, all right. So she had a whole day to order him around. A whole day. Wakes up in the morning, he's like, it's my day off. I'm going to relax. No, you're not. You're going to clean this house. All right. After 2-3 hours later, oh my God, we worked so hard. Let's get some drink. It wasn't him. It was Sarah Boone was like, I want a drink. Let's go get me a drink. All right. Get over there, buy the stupid drink, come back home. They're drinking. We're going to drink outside. All right. By the way, you don't talk to your kids enough. You don't talk to your sibling enough. As a matter of fact, you don't support me enough. Matter of fact, here's my phone. Call them. Right here. Call them now. Okay, you know what? That's enough. You call them in. You call them inside. Go now. All right, sorry. Oh, can't believe it. I'm sitting here. I'm helping him with his family. I'm helping him with his children. He's so ungrateful. Matter of fact, come back outside, okay? Yeah. And I want another bottle of wine. Get me another bottle of wine. Here's my card. Here. Hurry up. You don't think this is really what happened? We're not idiots. If you, Sarah Boone fan, if you're a dumb idiot, go to school and stay there and learn a few things, all right? Because if you believe any ounce of this story, you have a few screw loose in your head. Matter of fact, you're dangerous. Matter of fact, get stepping. Because it's infuriating. The fact, listen to me, because, he has a litany of children. 5 kids? 4 kids. Their father's dead. Siblings, their father's dead. This guy was being abused on a daily basis. This is on a day off of the guy's man. Of course he cannot get a stable job. He's stressed. He comes back. Give me the bottle. I bet you George probably didn't even drink. She drank it all. And then she's like, all right, let's paint. Because she's drunk by now. All right, sorry, let's paint. Your job is so amazing. You are a masterpiece, darling. Oh, yeah. And then, now let's play hide and seek. This is what happened. This little lunatic here is trying to make you believe something different. And then poor George, who's only 100 pounds, 5'3", is like, oh my gosh, she's going to beat me up. Okay, fine. I'll do whatever you say. All right. Get in the suitcase. All right, darling. All right. Wrap the suitcase up. And then once he was trapped, now her devious plan comes in because she's a maniac. She's a maniac. Psychopath. Oh my God, forget narcissism. That's too nice. She's a psycho, allegedly. Come on, lawsuits, bring it on. Yeah. because now the poor guy is like, all right, I can't breathe. I'm going to kill you. In her mind, because she's drunk. She's a psychopath who is drunk. You think something good's gonna come out of it? Nothing's gonna come out of it. Now it's like, I could never talk to you. Please, you control this man's whole day. You could talk to him whenever you wanted. I can't believe people believe this shit. Have you ever had a conversation with someone who's an idiot? Oh my God. If you ever get the unfortunate scenario of speaking to someone who's an idiot, just be quiet. Just go like this. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. I gotta go. What? I gotta pick up my kid from daycare early. I use that excuse a lot. Oh my God. There's nothing worse than talking with someone that has nothing in the head. I don't know how people even tolerate that. What? What do you want? I don't know how people tolerate that. Go to school. And if you don't know anything, that's not my problem. I'm not your parent to teach you basics. Jeez. Ridiculous. I ain't got time for that. If you don't like what I just said, too bad. I'm not taking it back. Let's press play.
Tim, and you were intoxicated.
Yes.
And you would agree that you said some things you should not have,
Yes.
Oh, really?
but you realized he could not get out and get at you. Is that fair?
At that moment, yes.
So it goes on for about 10 minutes.
Yes.
You heard it here today, did you not?
Yes.
You heard his voice as he was speaking from the suitcase.
Yes.
That was his voice on the video and audio.
Yes.
And you heard your voice on the video and audio.
Yes.
That was your voice.
Yes.
All those things said by the man were said by George in that 2-minute video.
Correct.
All the words said by the female were said by you in that 2-minute video.
Correct.
Were you intending on showing him the video the next day?
Yes.
At the time or the next day, is it fair to say you don't even remember a videotape?
I do not.
So, from what you can tell from watching it, did that refresh your memory about that event?
It did.
Why did
Liar.
you say all that?
To remind you, she deleted the video when the detective came and were like, "What is this?" She deleted the video. So she was like, "I don't remember the video." Bitch, you remember the video. Right? Oh, Mr. Lawyer, you forgot she said that? You didn't even do your due diligence, Mr. Criminal Lawyer. You would have seen that this was during the investigation with the detective. What a bad lawyer, allegedly. Listen, if you're in Florida, allegedly, you want a criminal defense lawyer, allegedly, don't pick that man, allegedly, or his firm, allegedly. Because if this is the best he got, it's because her case is not defensible. That's why. That's the best he got, is to try to make you believe that she's innocent. He's like, don't you? Yeah. Because it's not defensible. That's why all the other lawyers were like, girl, you're not getting out of here free. Because she wants to go out free. And there's like, I can't take you. You're going to go to jail. But, of course, because the lawyers... I bet you the prosecution is like, Judge, what is going on here? Judge is like, I know. Just stop. Go back to your seats. I have to pee. Okay, so I'll let this play. I'm gonna go pee. I'll be right back. And gotta pee. Maybe more coffee.
All right, I'm talking about just the 2-minute video part that was recorded. Could you just tell the jury what you were feeling, what your feelings were at the time, and then explain that to the jury? You mentioned, you talked about it before. You said he was in that confined space and it was my chance, but do you want to elaborate on that, or?
Sure. I want you all to know that the majority of the time, am always afraid and always scared.
All right, well, I understand that. Yeah, I understand that. But would it be fair to say that you had some anger at that point?
I did.
Would it be fair to say that you wanted to tell him off to some degree?
I just wanted, yes, for him to have a better understanding, which was the whole point of the videos and documentation prior.
And you could tell that he was uncomfortable.
I'm guessing.
And did you want him to feel some uncomfort?
I did.
Okay. Now, at some point, you turned off the video.
Yes.
And then we saw a second video, which is approximately 11 minutes later. And you've seen that video that was played to the jury. It was 22 seconds long.
Yes.
And I don't think you speak in that video. You hear George say Sarah one time.
Yes.
Is that fair to say?
Yes.
So between the 2-minute video and the 22-second video is an 11-minute period. Would you tell the jury what happened?
We continued to, I guess, speak to one another, and his tone changed, and I knew the tone, and we ended up, I guess, arguing back and forth with one another, and it was the things that he was saying very much frightened me, and cursing at me and threatening me. And
Did he want you to let him out of the suitcase?
I'm sure so.
Okay. Go ahead, tell me your...
And it got very heated very quickly, and he continued to push on the suitcase. And my fear was that he was going to break out of the suitcase, knowing that it was a broken suitcase. And his hand started to come through. His hand started to come through this way. And so I shook the suitcase. Trying to get his hand to go back in, shaking it, and telling him that, please stop doing this. Please stop doing this to me. Please stop doing this to me.
So his hand actually got out of the suitcase,
Yes,
and you went to the suitcase
yes,
and shook it.
yes.
Did that force his hand to go back in?
No.
So you're shaking it. Were you shaking it to try to get the suitcase, his hand back in?
Yes.
How long did you shake it?
I don't know.
But his hand was still out.
Yes.
Was he trying to get out?
Forcefully, yes.
Was he angry at you?
Yeah.
Yes.
Were you in fear?
No.
Always.
If he would have gotten out of the suitcase, what would he have done to you?
Like he used to tell me, he probably would have made me unrecognizable, or I would have lost my life.
Oh.
Did you lose the grip on the suitcase?
Yes.
Where was the bat in relation to the suitcase?
It was leaning up against the dining room table, right there.
How far was the bat from the suitcase?
She did not beat him with a bat.
3 feet, 2 feet.
Was his hand still out of the suitcase?
Yes.
And was he getting out of the suitcase?
He very much was trying, yes.
And so what did you do?
For the split-second reaction that I had, I happened to see that, and I grabbed the baseball bat and was trying to poke his hand to go back in, to please don't break through, please. So I hit his hand.
Did you hit the outside part of his hand?
Yes,
We've seen the photographs of his left hand. Did you cause the bruising there?
I'm guessing yes.
Now, you've seen the bat. It's a youth bat.
Yes, I bought it for my son.
Is this the bat you used?
Yes,
And you said you poked him with it?
yes, I kind of pushed, like I held it with the skinny part here and then
So the grip here,
prodded at it, yes,
you grabbed it with both hands here,
yes,
and then the barrel of the bat, the big part of the bat is here.
correct.
And you thrusted it into the different areas of the suitcase?
I started with his hand, and his hand, he was still trying to get out. He was still trying to do that. So I started to push on the suitcase around it, hoping to have his hand retract and go back inside.
Bitch.
You made those injuries.
Yes.
I did.
We've seen the photographs.
Okay.
Yes.
We see the bruising. Is that from that bat?
Yes.
I didn't even look to see the.
Eventually, did his hand go back inside from you doing?
Of course.
Yes, finally, he had subsided and retracted his hand.
So in your mind, did you prevent him from attacking you?
Absolutely. Split-second decision.
Now, once he retracted his hand, do you remember zipping it up some? Or What did you do in relation? Because he was upside down, was he not, at that point?
Yes,
At some point, you flipped him back up.
I did.
Tell how that happened.
He wasn't cursing, he wasn't threatening, his hand was inside foremost. There was no more of him trying to break through the suitcase. So I felt safe enough to turn it back over. It wasn't happening anymore.
You went back to the video and the couch,
I did, yes.
and we saw the second video,
Yes,
the 22-second, and he's right side up again,
yes,
and you hear him say, Sarah?
yes.
Had you left enough room for him to get out? Zipper to zipper.
Yes, that's how his hand was trying.
That suitcase has 2 zippers, doesn't it? And they meet at various places along the line?
Correct.
How much room, when you flipped it over, how much room was between zipper to zipper?
I don't know specifically. I mean, it was enough to where his hand was coming out.
After you had hit him with the bat, was he not trying to get out anymore?
No.
Did you believe that he could breathe in there?
Yes.
Did you ever believe he could die in there?
No. At all.
Were you trying to kill him?
Never.
Did you want to kill him?
I did not.
Ooh. This is why some of these cases are just take me out. I'm emotionally drained. That's it. My day's over. I did not even know. You see, so this is just the first video I just popped up. So obviously there's one before that where they showed the bat and the bruises. I got to go in there and look at that. Listen, she took the bat and beat him up. Remember I told you at some point that there were bruises on him, and before the trial happened, and, you know, they didn't let us know what it was, but I just assumed she tumbled him because he was bruised. I just assumed she just threw him up and down the stairs. I had no idea this bitch took the bat and beat him with it. First of all, let me tell you one thing. Christopher, I can't fit in the suitcase, but let's just assume you fit me in the suitcase. Of course I would try to get out. Don't get out. No, I want to get out. Of course I would try to get out. Now, I'm a little bit, I have experience with that. Oh my God, no, I don't have experience with being beaten or trapped, being entrapped, but I have experience in the sense of where, like, you're stuck and there's only one exit and there's a person right there in the exit. Just like the Jeffrey Dahmer situation, it's like, oh crap, how do I get out of this? And if I was in the Joe situation, I don't even know what I would do. First of all, I don't freaking know. But all I know is that, you know, when you're in a state of panic, he was trying to get out. Probably he couldn't breathe, you know. But to anybody who find themselves entrapped, Stockholm Syndrome. Hi, yes. Hi, sir. Stockholm Syndrome until you can just inch your way to the door and then run. This was exhausting. So we spent a whole hour listening to her trying to bamboozle us into thinking, I'm just a damsel in distress, darling. She controlled the entire day. And she wanted us to believe that at that particular moment, she was the victim and she didn't have no power or control into anything. For God's darn sake, you told him what time to call his kids, where to call his kids. You told him when it was time to change scenery. What kind of control is that? And then you want us to believe that, no, darling, he's the aggressor. Are you out of your mind? Oh, I have a headache. I'm emotionally drained. This took me out. Like, my emotions just through my stomach. How much time do we have left? Oh, 30 minutes. Oh, it's 1 hour and 30 minutes recording. All right.
Did you walk upstairs?
I did, yes.
Why didn't you let him out before you walked upstairs? Were you afraid?
Terrified is more of the word.
Let me also point out that, she's trying to evoke an emotion, tears. And let me tell you something. To cry, of course, you gotta have, it hurts. But tears have an emotional attachment. And it's easy to go back into your memory bank and find something that's emotional to you, and you can start crying that way. And more and more and more as I'm discovering about this woman, I truly believe she's allegedly a psychopath, because psychopaths don't give a crap. Narcissists care. They're all equally fucked up, but they have somewhere inside where they can dig deep and start caring. This woman hasn't cried not even one tear. Even in the act of trying to make us believe that she's like, she can't even muster a single tear. That means there's nothing in her past history that is oomph enough to make her cry. She has been hardened. Narcissists are made. Psychopaths are born. She was born a lunatic. Review the death of her parents and her grandparents. Maybe she killed them too, allegedly. But look at her trying to affect. I was so scared and terrified. She can't even muster one tear, not even a misty eyeball. She's trying really hard because there's nothing to go back to or even get an emotional reaction from.
As long as he was in the suitcase, he couldn't harm her.
Correct.
When he's... Did you want him to calm down?
Yes, I wanted him to stop being angry because I know what it is for him to be angry.
You put him in a suitcase!
You went upstairs. Where were the dogs?
The dogs ran upstairs with me.
The fact that this lawyer, honestly, the fact that the commonsensical things of, yes, you put me in a suitcase and I can't breathe and you beat me with a bat. You think I'm going to be all smiles and I would. Because, I played a Stockholm victim until I get out. And then I'm going to sue the hell out of you. You want rise. You don't understand. Yeah, I lead into the Stockholm syndrome. Oh, yes, I'm sorry. It's all my fault. Yeah. And then as soon as I get out, honey, it's war. But not everybody's like that. People will react. Yeah, of course. I'm in a suitcase. Get me out of here. What's wrong with you? Right? Especially someone that you're intimate with. You fall asleep next to. Right?
And where did they go?
On the
cares?
bed.
Did you have the phone with you?
Yes,
I know at some point you called your husband Brian, did you not?
I did.
Do you recall how long that conversation was?
Not very long.
Can you recall what was said?
I don't remember exactly. No, I don't.
Fuck out of here. She remembers everything, but get out of here. Cool.
One moment. Miss Boone, Sarah Boone, you said that when he was in the suitcase, he was threatening you. Can you tell the jury what he was saying?
I don't know. Am I allowed to curse?
Yes.
But he was going to fucking end me. And that's what made me ask him please to stop doing what he's doing to me. That he was going to, I'm guessing, try his best that night to probably take my life.
But what the threat you heard was he's
He's going to
say the
fucking
word.
end me.
Excuse me?
fucking end me.
And you?
Yes.
One more.
Yes, sir.
Judge, can we approach the bench?
Yes.
Okay, let me tell you something. First of all, of this entire story, the thing that makes the most sense is Joe's reaction. I will end you. Get me out of the suitcase. Yeah. That's the most sensical thing. Everything else is just a baloney. And the second thing is that he's not here to testify. So we have what? Take your word for it? Is that really how it's supposed to work? Out of your mind. Are you completely out of your mind? That doesn't make any sense at all. And the simple fact that he just like jumped into the suitcase. No, you control the entire day. It makes a lot more sense of you telling him, get in the suitcase, darling. Let's play a little game. Since you even curated the whole painting. You curated the whole drinking. You curated him calling his siblings. What in the world would I think otherwise that you may not have curated the fact that he should get in the suitcase? Yeah. Because you're trying to kill me. So if I get out of here, I'm going to end you. That sounds normal. That sounds completely normal. I can believe that. Yeah. But see, George did not think she would go that far. That's why.
All right, members of the jury, it is 2:14. I have a matter that I have to discuss with counsel at this point in time outside of your presence. So I'm going to ask you to retire to the deliberation room. We'll bring you back in as promptly as possible. Again, similar instruction that I've given you. Please do not conduct any independent investigation or research as the person, places, things, or charge involved, and do not.
Listen. Look at this judge clerk. I don't know if she's looking at the camera or Sarah Boone, but she is mean mugging Sarah. She's like, bitch, you think we're stupid? Look at that. Yeah. She is looking at, and Sarah's like, I told them, they really think I'm stupid. I got this in the bag. That's all I wanted. I wanted them to be. Sarah really thinks she's like, I got them. Yeah, they're enchanted. The black clerk, good hair. Damn it. She's representing really my emotions. Like, really? Okay. Guilty. Oh, blasphemy. What time is it? This is going to be a 2-hour video. Oh my God, the editing will be disastrous. I'm going to die in the editing. Oh, YouTubing. You know, it's one of the things that I would never guess this would be this difficult. You guys have no idea how hard it is to even... What? The editing alone. Maybe when I retire, I could take this really seriously as a business. But as a full-fledged growing up with jobs, this is literally impossible. But I'll do my best. The editing alone would kill me. 2 hours? What? Oh, all right.
Do not have any discussions amongst yourselves or anyone else about
Okay, fast forward.
Y'all may be seated. Thank you. State, you can proceed with any argument at this point in time.
Judge, I believe that's pretty close to what we already knew from the deposition testimony, from the doctors relaying what she said for the proffer. What we have here is testimony from the defendant. Her timeline is she comes downstairs after having gone up to the shower and hiding, laying down, after being declared to be it. She comes back downstairs, and before she gets back to the bottom of the stairwell, she can see that the victim is in the suitcase trying to get flat because the lid is flopping and he's not hidden just yet. And so she comes over, and I believe she testified she was moving it around before actually zipping the lid shut, but moving it around, everybody's laughing, it's all fun and games still. And then she zips it, and it's still fun and games, and everybody's laughing. And then at this point, she testifies that this is now her opportunity to get on her pulpit to express her true feelings about everything. And that's when she sits down on the couch and opens up her phone device and begins recording what later turns out to be IMG underscore 1062.movie at 11:12:45 for 2 minutes and 3 seconds. During this period of time, the decedent is expressing meekly that he can't breathe. The only time he ever curses at her is, "Sarah, I can't fucking breathe. Babe, I can't fucking breathe." He is demonstrating under the law that he is in fear of losing his life. She has committed an aggravated assault. She has committed false imprisonment. She was the initial aggressor. There was no overt act to justify these actions that she took against her boyfriend. She then goes on to say that during this period of time between the end of the movie at 11:14:48 seconds and before the next one starts at 11:23, that it's now at this time, while he's still constrained and clearly unable to get out under his own power despite having his hand out, she begins beating him with a bat, poking his hands, poking the suitcase with a deadly weapon. A bat is used for baseball, but it can also be used to harm another person. And according to the medical examiner's testimony, there was great harm caused to him, deep ecchymosis bruises. She can't start to do this out of fear, like the analogy I gave earlier. If I pull a gun to rob you, Judge, and you pull a gun, I can't shoot you in self-defense. She started this. She started this. There was no overt act, and therefore we're asking for you to prevent, under the case law, any prior instances of violence, any reputation evidence, and any battered spouse syndrome evidence, because that's simply just what the case ended up being.
Judge, this was a game by two intoxicated people. When people are drunk and intoxicated, they do silly and stupid things. The evidence is uncontroverted that George Torres willingly, by his own choice, elected to hide in the suitcase. By their interaction between the two of them, giggling and laughing at each other, he consented to her zipping up the suitcase. And the playful nature of what was going on during those few minutes prior to the video. When the video is turned on, there's a 2-minute period where they're talking. He's saying, "I need to get out, I can't breathe."
Yeah.
She's not taking him seriously. As you've seen from the videos, I thought it was the boy crying wolf. She did not appreciate the fact that he could be actually having trouble breathing. And this was a chance for him to be heard by her about how she felt about some things involving their relationship.
What?
A short time later, the video was turned off, and then that period has been testified to by my client. And that period is uncontroverted. That's a second period of time. We've got that time for the video. We got the 11 minutes, we got the 22 seconds. And there's no video, there's no audio, there's no eyewitness, there's nothing but Sarah Boone's testimony. And she's testified here today that they had words, there were threats, he got his hand out of the suitcase. She knew by the threats and him getting his hand out of the suitcase that he was about to get out of the suitcase and he was going to hurt her. A reasonable person under that scenario
Reasonable.
would believe she was about to be harmed. She was an imminent threat of harm. She blocked that attack by grabbing the bat, hitting his hand. When that didn't work, she started poking him with the bat in the suitcase. Eventually, she poked him several times. He put his hand inside the suitcase. She put the bat up. When she realized he was not going to do that any further, she flipped him over right side up. She still had a fear, knowing that if he got out, she would be harmed. He would beat her up. She went upstairs. That is an overt act based on the discussions, coupled with the fact that he threatened her, using the word, I'm going to end it for you, or some words to that effect. I don't remember her exact words, just before she went upstairs while he was still in the suitcase. If she would have let him out, and this is now this is an event involving an omission, failure to act, failure to unzip him at that point, before she went upstairs. The failure to act, the failure to unzip, which would have let him out, which would have created a situation that she believed was imminent bodily harm to herself. And I guess I'll get a couple of examples. Let's say that a police officer is called to a scene and the only thing he hears is there is a suspect and the suspect may be armed. So of course the officer pulls out his revolver and he's walking around. Well, then eventually he finds the suspect and the suspect reaches for his waist. The officer doesn't see the gun, but the officer sees the movement to the waist.
Is that the same thing?
The officer fires and shoots the suspect. The officer is justified because there's an immediate threat of harm. The officer has to react instinctively. There's no time to think. Similar to the actions that Sarah Boone had to take. Another example, you're in a bar with your buddies and you've had something to drink and another group has had something to drink and one of your buddies gets into an argument with one of the buddies on the other party. And one of your friends, seeing that it's being escalated and the guy that's arguing with your buddy is aggressive, more aggressive than your buddy is. Your buddy's trying to settle the thing, but this other individual, maybe he's had too much to drink and he's more aggressive. So you go around behind this individual, and before he's able to strike your buddy, you grab him. You lock him up. That's physical restraint to block an attack. Or you grab him by the neck and you choke him. Physical restraint to block an attack. That's what she was doing with the suitcase. If she let him out of the suitcase, she was going to be harmed based on him trying to get out with his hand, based on the threats he made while he had his hand out, and based on the threats he made while he had his hand inside just before she went upstairs. Thank you.
Thank you. Court's going to review all the case law that it's obtained in its research in this matter and come back with an oral ruling momentarily. Thank you.
Oh, my Lord. This lawyer cannot be serious. You know, let me tell you something. In the profession, there is such thing as having some integrity. If this is how you do to make a living, integrity. And what does that mean to have integrity? It means that don't play with me. That's what it means. You may be a client, I may provide a service, but don't think just because you're a client and I'm providing a service that it gives you a right to be an idiot. Integrity. Like who I am, my reputation, my schooling, my skill set, I'm proud of that. Okay? This lawyer just demonstrated to me he has no integrity. Let me explain to you what that means. Yeah, of course, the law tells you gotta do a credible defense. But honey, like this idea that I'm supposed to swallow this nincompoop pill of a defense, horrible. It's not even well done. Mr. Benko is the one who put together the battered spousal syndrome. This was never from the get-go even her MO. Okay? So this lawyer thinks he's going to come in here, enjoy the tax dollars. Yeah, because you think he's working for free. He's not working for free. But integrity. Because not all dollars is good dollars. Okay? Walks in here, collects our check, because we're paying for it. Yeah, including us here in Jersey. All right? Because federal government versus my tax dollars is paying for all of that mess, including his salary. It's infuriating. That's why it drains me, because in my normal life, I don't put up with that. Please, you know how many clients I've fired? I've fired a lot of clients for the simple reason that this mentality, darling, I'm the client, I'm the service, and I say, oh, really? All right, well, here, I don't work for free, so I would deduct, if the contract allows, I'll deduct how much I'm owed. You can take the rest and get the F out of my face. And if the contract says I keep all of it and no refund, you're fired. Oh my God, I'm going to sue you. Bring it. What? Integrity. And it needs to be felt. It needs to exude out of you, because then you don't have idiots who come in front of you with this idea of this entitlement. Honey, have several seats and back up, because the sense that he's trying to explain to me here, to believe this lunatic of a monster has any claim into being reasonable, it's out of this world. I can't even put one and one together. I can't even make sense in my own brain. That's why I was like, oh my God, I have to turn off. I can't even look at him. I can't even look at this thing. What kind of defense is this? Even the judge was like, what are you saying? What is going on? Even, we're humans. Even the judge can't even hide his, like, boy, have several seats. What the hell are you talking about? Even the defense lawyer is like, what am I saying? Yeah, let me give you 2 examples, because he knew the first one didn't make sense. And then he's like, oh, just like, let me give you about the bar. That didn't make sense either. I'm getting all riled up for nothing. Probably because I'm mad that I got to sit here and listen to this stupid shit. All right, let me give you my final thought. This was not your final thought. At least, no, this wasn't my final thought. I'll be quick with my final thought. Final thought. Sarah Boone. I can't. Anyway, final thought. Listen to me. I'll make this very quick, because there's a theme in my head that's ringing super loud in this cabeza of mine. All right. First of all, Florida has a reputation, doesn't it? My Sarah Boone spot living in Florida. Is it true what they say? Is the state crazy? Anyway. Pay attention to my final thought. My thing is, listen, there's always a reason for something, right? You slap someone in the face, there's a reason for it. You kill someone allegedly, there's a reason for it. She put him in a suitcase and zipped him up and killed him, there's a reason for it. But there is never an excuse for bad behavior. There's never an excuse for bad behavior. You put him in a suitcase, you zipped him up. The fine line of like, all right, I'm done, let me out. That's it. There's nothing more to be said. Let him out. There's a fine line. And then once you pass the threshold of bad behavior, there is no excuse. The line is so thin. It's very thin. It's very thin. That's why self-defense cases are it's very difficult, because the line is very thin. We're friends. I can do that. But stop it. Sorry. And so that's my final thought. We live in a different world now where bad behavior is overlooked. It's like now it's like, oh my God, bad behavior. Don't worry about it. It's all good. We live in a world where nobody gives a crap about consequences of bad behavior. Listen, depending on who you is, there's never an excuse. And you as an individual, you have the ability and the power to say, I don't want that around me. Now, it's up to you to make a decision for your life. All I'm saying is there's never an excuse for bad behavior. And if you have the ability to either walk away or create a bubble around you or ostracize bad behavior, do it. Because once you tolerate one, you will tolerate them all. And then you'll lose your what? Your integrity. Yeah. So, that's it. I bet you all the other lawyers are laughing. Like, oh my God, we dodged this bullet. I know. But sir, Sarah Boone lawyer, listen, this is not good for your reputation. Not good at all. And if you're working for a firm, I would have fired you. Employment at will. Oh, you can't fire me. I can fire you. Yes, employment at will. You're all fired if I wanted to. Do you understand? Employment at will. Welcome to America, right? No, if I was the firm and I'm the boss of the firm and I'm sitting there looking at this guy, I'd be like, what are you doing, John? That's the name. What is that? What is that? Sir, I'm like, you're a lawyer. You're a lawyer. If I have to explain to you the details of your job, honey, you're fired. You're a lawyer. 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 You should know the law. You're a lawyer. You're a lawyer. You're a lawyer. You're supposed to have more critical thinking than the average person. You're supposed to be a little bit appealing than the average person. But if you're a dummy as a lawyer, no, that's not good for business. Bad publicity. Yeah. I'm going to look at that lawyer and what firm he works for. Only for my own records. Please, I mean, you're a lawyer in Florida. I know I'm probably not. Okay, that's a different story. Okay, let's talk. Thanks for being here. Let's go to my Let's Talk. Welcome to my Let's Talk. Listen, this is a place where I take off my jacket, get myself more comfortable, and I talk to you a little bit more. Press like, subscribe, and let's talk. Excuse for the muscles. Listen, I've gained 25 pounds from the month of November, literally until January. So the good thing about I guess my body is that I explode and I shrink quite quickly, and so I'll lose it off by the end of this month. But the holidays, I'm so glad it's over because all I did was eating. My in-laws are Italian, and all they eat, you know what they eat? Pasta. You know, my mother-in-law just dropped us some food for the month. You know, she does that. For the month? Yep. For the month. I love it. You know, it's a different story, but guess what's in it? Pizza, lasagna. Love it. Sweet potatoes. Absolutely love it. But to give you an idea, I love it. Omelets, so like a whole egg frittata. See, that's good. Muffins, a pie. I absolutely love it because I complain about. I'm like, Mom, look at all these carbs, but honey, I'm gonna eat every single one. You know, but it's funny because that's just the Italian culture. Pasta is the carb is the staple of everything, and everything else comes up the top of it. You know, and but we haven't, ever since Olympia was born, my daughter, we haven't really cooked. So it's been 2 years and a half now, and we haven't really cooked. You know, we're being fed. I'm not gonna complain. I just have to adjust my living situation, adjust how my exercise, and I have to control a little bit. But it's so good. It's so good. Yeah, but the holidays was nothing but eating. I was so exhausted from eating. Yeah, and also, you know, November is my birthday. So November was my birthday. Today is the 9th. So yesterday, January 8th, is my wedding anniversary. 10 years married, 9 years married, 9 years married. We're such kids. But we've been together since I was 23, 22. I don't remember. I'm 39 now, so you do the math. Yeah, we've been together for a very long time. But yesterday was a wedding anniversary. And we're thinking about going skiing this weekend. Christopher loves to ski. I'm not a big ski person. Usually what happens when we do go skiing, you know what I do? I don't mind being there. So I just follow along and I hang out at the lodge. I dress up with the whole thing, and people are like, do you want to order ski? I'm like, not really. I'm just dressed up just so I blend in, but I'm just going to hang out at the bar and drink all day. He goes and he skis. I'm socializing, mingle with little families, and I just hang out by the fire on my phone, just drink and enjoy the view. You know, I entertain myself. He comes back from the skiing. He loves the sport. What's up, baby? What's up? Yeah, I'm super drunk. You know, you do what couples do, wiggle, schmiggle, go back home, and you do the do. Go back to the lodge, to, wherever you rent the stuff, and then wake up in the morning, have some breakfast, and that's it. Like, it's just because I don't ski doesn't mean I'm not going to go there and enjoy it. Yeah, people may have their opinion, but it's when you cater your life to other people's opinion, you end up not living. Can you imagine if you had to live somebody else's point of view? How horrible would that be? Not me. I'm too old for that. Too old for that. Besides, that's not fun. So, yeah, we're gonna ski this weekend. Funny thing about like Sarah Boone's like a weekend getaway with her boyfriend. Me and Chris have done that many times. Pre-baby, wake up in the morning. It's Saturday. First of all, so Friday night. So Friday night, because we're responsible humans, so we have to somewhat plan the debauchery. So Friday night, it's like, what are you doing tomorrow? Well, it's Saturday. All right, I'm gonna cancel all work, and we're just gonna be stupid. Yeah. Friday night, I just cancel everything for the weekend. Saturday morning, we wake up, and it's like, good morning. You drink. It's 8 in the morning. Have a glass of wine. Yeah. Lay on the patio. Tan. Play some music. Roll a little bit. You know what I mean? Because we're responsible humans, we don't drink and drive. So you just DoorDash the snacks and the gummy bears and stuff like that. Yeah, and you drink, you play games, you watch a movie, you snore, you have sex. Get out of here. It's my husband. You have fun. And then it's like 8 p.m. You go, fuck. What a horrible waste of a day that is. And then you laugh about it. And then on Sunday morning, you regret every single bit of it because you have the craziest hangover. And then you just, oh my God, complain about it all day. And then Monday, back to work. Yeah, we've done that. So this whole idea of like, you can't just wake up and be an idiot and completely useless to society on the day. It's such a farce. Yeah, it happens. Couples do that. Yeah. I'll tell you something else. First of all, oh my God. First of all, you guys, I told you my second in command was murdered. I told you that in the video and what happened to me. So, I run a small operation and I'm extremely involved. I'm involved, well, when he was alive, I was involved in the background. It was very easy because all I had to do was overseeing stuff. But getting back into the nitty gritty of stuff, it's very difficult. It really goes to show you how important, anyway. So guess what happened? Because I'm looking to hire, right? And, but in the meantime, because it's a particular job and, and I have to make sure I get the right person because whoever gets the job frees my time because right now my time is all caught up into my day-to-day operations where I have to actively be present. Anyway, you won't believe who applied. And this is what I tell you. It happened 2 times in my life. This is why I always say, when you leave your house, you don't know who you're talking to. You don't know, unless you have the ability to walk away, flick your hair and say, kiss my butt and not have the repercussions. Be careful who you offend, how you act, because you don't know who that person is. You don't know, you might fall on someone like me I'm willing to sue. If anything, I can't wait to sue someone. I want to retire early. Please, I'll sue you. But the thing is that you don't know who you might fall on. You might fall on someone who's not taking up this shit. So I look at the applicants and I look at the name. I tell you the first name. First name is Dave. I won't tell you the last name. And the last name is very unique. And I was like, Dave, oh, I know this name. This particular person gave me the worst headache when I was a W-2 worker. Way back in the day when I was a regular citizen, working my job, busting my butt off to create something more for myself. Yeah, because, it's not easy. Oh, what did I do? All right, never mind. This Dave had an issue with a particular color. And you know why I say this? Because I went to HR. It was the color thing. And here's the thing. If of course you don't know that about me, but I'm a great worker. All right? I'm not good. I'm great. I go above and beyond. Not because I like you or your company. No. I go above and beyond because I want reasons to get a raise. So because I expect a raise, and in order to go and expect a raise, because I will go in front of my boss and be like, okay, I need a raise. It's time for a raise, and the job is always going to say, who the hell are you? You have to go there and be like, here's what I did, and here's how exceptionally great I am. Give me my effing raise. I don't play with that. So I'm a great worker all the freaking time, and I go above and beyond. And I record it because best and believe you're going to compensate me for that. So as I am, doing my work thing, and you don't have friends at work, because when you're working for your future. Yeah, we're friends, but at the end of the day, honey, I got bills to pay. Unless you pay my bills, we're friends up to the point where it interfere with my work, right? And so I do what I do. I'm a great worker. And eventually, when you start doing great, and you just got hired, and you excel to the point where you make a name for yourself within the company that you got hired, and people are like, who is this? Wow, unbelievable, right? Because there's always an opinion. I don't care about your opinion. I'm here to work. And as I excel, people who used to be great have an opinion about it. And the thing is that you can have your opinion. That's not my issue. You do you. But the moment that opinion starts to become a office chatter, and it starts to get into my ears, and I start to see the content of the chatter being, because how come this person come in here? They hire him because he's black, and they're giving all this preferential stuff because he's black. Listen, that's what it was. And so, see, I'm smarter than most people. So I just took notes. Because when you have people who are stupid like that, they tend to talk a lot. You don't say anything, but I was aware of the conversations that was happening. And so I just took mental note. I would share it with Christopher, because of course I would go home and be like, oh my God, I'm just working. Mind your own business. I took notes, right? So I'm sitting here taking notes. You said that already. You said that still, because I'm coughing. Anyway, I'm taking notes, and he got very comfortable with this little narrative that's going on. And so at some moment, the chatter went from being spoken to being texted. Okay? Texted. It never fails. It never fails. It never fails because they get very comfortable with it, because you don't say anything. So they think, oh yeah, they get very loosey, very comfortable with it, right? When it's starting to get into writing, I have some friends at work, right? And eventually that came into my view, where there was a group chat talking about how I get special treatment not because of my numbers, but because of my skin color. So I look at it, and my friend, of course, because you never know who shares this stuff, right? So my friend shows me the text message, and I go, oh, wow. All right. Forward that to me. And I went to HR. And the thing about me is that when I'm at work, I'm working. I'm all laughy and giggly. And that throws people off to think that maybe I'm an idiot. I'm extremely organized, and I'm smarter than most people. So when oh my gosh, I'm narcissistic. No, I'm just telling you. So as I'm because I was aware of the chatter, I went straight to HR, because some people might be like, I don't want to go to HR. Listen, HR is not your friend to begin with. HR is there to protect the company. And for the company's sake, they got to take it seriously. I know very damn well that the company is not my friend. Get out of here. I went to HR because I wanted to put everybody on notice. And I wanted to be like, okay, company, here's what you got. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Because now that you are on notice, you better do something about it. Otherwise, I'm coming for you. And I'm looking to retire early any day. So lawsuits are real. And again, you don't know who you're going to fall upon. But anyway, that's not the point. The point is that, long story short, he was not fired, but he was put on a action plan and a sensitivity training, which then fine. But he was made aware that, Alistair don't play with Alistair. So now, fast forward a few years, start my little operations. I am who I is. And so, an applicant. And you wouldn't know you wouldn't know I own it because my name is not on it. So you just think, oh, I'm applying. So I look at it and I go, oh, is that who I think it is? And I look at the resume and I look at the history and stuff. And it was a while back, but I look at the company we used to work together and I go, oh my God, it is who I think it is. Perfect. I'm going to go and do the interview myself. Oh, Mr. Ezekiel. I was like, no, don't worry, please. I got this. Get out of here. Employment at will. So he comes to the office. Hello. I'm Luke. My name is Dave. Looking for a job. He comes to the office. Again, no idea. I'm an overseer. It's my company. I know exactly what's going on. I'm overseeing and I'm looking. I know the appointment. I know what time it starts. I know exactly where it's happening. And I know the setting of the office. You know? Oh, no. I waited. And so he walks in, he waits. I know the procedure. I walk in at a particular time because I wanted him to see who I is. So I come in. Hello. Hi, Mr. Ezekiel. Hi. Okay, blah, 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 blah. I knew where he was sitting. I'm not looking. Oh, no. I could be completely petty. But listen. I walk right past. I went to my office. He goes to the first interview, whatever. Second interview. Third interview. Okay, I'm going to admit it. I did it on purpose. Nobody's one person, but I was like, no, today you're going to work. You're going to work. You're going to work. And then I'm going to deny you. So he went through the whole day. That's right. And when he got to the last one, it was me. Oh, hi. Polite. Oh, hey. Surprise on his face. Hi, Dave. How are you? You good? Yeah, come in. Handshake. Yeah, have a seat. Wow, it's been a long time, wasn't it? So look, what brings you here? This is great. It's awesome. What brings you here? How's life been? How you been? Good. What do you do here? Oh, I'm the owner. Oh! This is where you never know who you're going to offend. Mouth drop. Well, he's a different complexion than mine. So he when he blushes or get uncomfortable, he turns a little red. And the color changed. And it was so satisfying. So satisfying. It happened 2 times in my life. And depending on how hard or how wrong you do me, listen, I'm only human. And I have a very bad character flaw of mine is I'm unforgiving. That's my flaw. Oh, well, I'm too old to change now. I'm unforgiving. If you cross me once, usually I ghost myself out. So I disappear. But if you come back into my vision, you think I'm gonna be nice to you? Get out of here with that mess. Even when I negotiate, my first offer is always the best offer. Any offer after that, honey, I am getting the pie. You're getting crumbs. You know what I mean? So when I'm a beast when I negotiate. So he sits down. We go through the whole interview. I said, I'll give you a call back. No, I'm not hiring him. I'm not hiring at all. At-will hirement. If you ever watched this video, I didn't give you the last name. You don't know which date I'm talking about. Boo. So get out of here with that mess. But no, the other time that happened to me was with my ex-boyfriend, the one before Christopher. And the one before Christopher, same scenario. You know what I mean? Like posturing with this attitude of complete decimation, whereas you're not even in a position to walk away. People who are jerks and people who can afford to walk around like their shit don't stink have backup plans. If you're a regular average person, you better walk through life trying not to offend people because you never know when you might need them. And so I was dating my ex-boyfriend, and this was my first try of expanding my operation over there in France. And guess what? He applied, and particular names. I was like, oh, I did the same thing. Hi, have a seat. I'm the owner. Yeah. It's so great. So satisfying. Anyway, what a long story, right? Some people are not like that, but listen, I am a strong advocate of you have to be considerate every moment you can because you don't know what the other person is going through. But just because you're considerate and a nice person does not give, because you have to set boundaries. Otherwise, people will walk over you. If you don't let people know, if you don't give this essence out of like, I'm nice until I'm not, they would test it. Anyway, what else happened in my life? Honestly, that was a great highlight. That interview, this was a great highlight. I got home and I called Christopher on my way home and I was like, oh my God, this was great. This was great. Just seeing the effect on the face and the color change. Yeah. We change color too. We just don't turn red. We turn purple, but we don't turn red. You know, when we blush, we turn a little purplish color. Anyway. No, I'm not giving you my money. Get out of here with that mess. What else is going on in my life? Oh, right. So, right, with the kid, the baby. Listen, my little girl. Okay, I'm going to say it out loud. You can be mad at me if you want, but I totally understand people who are like, I don't want children. It's really hard. What? Raising a child is completely difficult. And it's one of those things where like you can't do a good job at it, really. You could try to do a good job, but everything is just a freaking mess. And as much as like, my daughter is smart and whatnot, oh my Lord, Olympia is annoying. What? How dare you? What? That's another thing about parents. You got to be honest. You got to be honest. Honestly. This is what I say, like your children, it's not love. It's obsession, right? I think if Mother Nature didn't make you obsessed about your kids, every children would be left at somebody else's door. Because there's definitely a urge to care. There's a urge to nurture and care and protect. But I don't think that urge comes from like, I love you. Because I love my husband. But it's conditional, darling. Okay? And so, yeah, I can say I love my daughter, but it's deeper than that. It's a deeper connection that's stronger than my love for my husband. I don't know how to explain. And the fact that I can't explain it means it's not love. It has to fall in the realm of obsession. Because when push comes to shove, you know, I have to teach and educate my daughter. I'm responsible for her emotional well-being as well, right? So it's not just like feed her and entertain her. There's a whole slew of other stuff I got to do. And honey, you don't do that for the friend. Because even with my friends, there's certain things I'm like, if you don't get it by now, honey, I'm not teaching you. Right? Do you know what I mean? So it's work. Oh, it's work. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah, it's work. It's work. And I can't wait until I'm done with it. I cannot wait until she's like 18. Oh, yeah. We can finally talk about boys and be stupid and maybe have like, she's 18, but in France you could drink something, have a glass of wine, a coffee and cheese. But before that, it's so much like hands-on work. I don't know how parents with more than one child do it, you know? Because I still have to work. I got bills to pay. This is not free. And so like having to do that and then take care of it. Oh my God, listen, I'm not even surprised I've gained 25 pounds. I'm not even surprised I gained 25 pounds. All I want to do is something I want to, like, I understand people who just eat themselves because you want to self-medicate because they feel so, listen, I love my kid to death, but I don't think it's love. I think I'm obsessed with my kid to death, you know? But listen, she is so adorable. You know, she's at the phase where she, you know, first of all, she is attached to each one of us for different reasons. And, you know, she understands that both parents cannot give her exactly what she needs, right? So she goes to wherever she needs to go to for whatever. And, she's like, I miss you. Papa, I love you. Papa, are you okay? Papa, you look sad today. Papa, are you tired? You look tired. Oh, okay. Feel better, okay? It's the most wonderful thing. And I can't. Because please, it's the hardest job ever, forget everything else. But the it makes me feel so proud that she's only 2 point and change, 2 years old and a half, and how I don't want to say grown up, please, because she's still a monster. But it makes me feel so proud to see how she's evolving. She's not mine biologically, but listen, and this is another thing where like legacy and children, it doesn't have to be biological. There's a lot of her mannerisms that come from me. Honey Olympia has sass. She gets it from me. I am a little bit sassy. On my, not at work. At work, at work, don't play with me. But among friends and whatever, no, I let my hair down. Come on, I'm sassy in front of you. That's the Eddie style that you get at home, right? And I she dances for no reason. That's me. She's extreme. So I show my affection by touch, and which in America that's like assault. It's something that I've had to curb as a European. I grew up. It was like for example in high school. I remember in France in high school. You know how you say hi to your friends? You give them kisses. You do that here in America, it's like, oh my God, sexual assault. It's one of those things that I've had to curb. But at home or at comfort, no. Good morning, hi, I am all over you. And so, in cultures where it's not normal, people think I'm in love with them. No, I'm not in love with you, or I'm not interested in you sexually or romantically. I'm just being me, and it's something that I've had to curb here in America, because in America it's either sexual assault, or either you want to sleep with me. Like, oh, HR nightmare. No. So in my professional regular life, I'm literally like this. Don't get close to me, right? Do you know what I mean? Because normal, Alistair, is I do invade you. I do invade your space. And a lot of my American friends, I've had to get used to that. And my clients, a lot of them are very good friends of mine, and those who are Europeans get it because we go back to our European ways. But the ones who are American, who are my clients, who are friends, they've had to, because sometimes I can't help it, but they've had to get accustomed to me being this close. You see how like I talk to you like this sometimes. This is how close I talk to some of my friends, and people are like, what I mean? You could smell my breath. I don't have my breath, but you could smell the breath. It's And then if you're a person who doesn't understand that culturally is very different, you might think, oh, Alistair wants to sleep with me. It's like, no, I don't want to sleep with you. But I'm sorry for being this close and touching your shoulder. Yeah, it might look like I want to sleep with you, but no. I'm just saying hello, right? So it's one of the things I have to teach my girl not to do that, because at school, she is very like that, which is so unfortunate, because I know it's inappropriate and it sends the wrong signal, especially nowadays in this kind of world, for a girl to do that. It sends the wrong signal. So it's one of the things that I've had to be like, at home you could do that. With Papa, you could do that. You could be very affectionate, but with Nana, with Grandma, but at school, stay away. It's very disheartening having to say that to my little girl, who's just like not understanding, And then she's like, is it okay? Can I touch you, Papa? Is it okay? And it's like, of course you can. Touch me, right? But I can see the confusion there. And another thing is about my little girl, she doesn't have there's no concept of grandpa. And she came home one day and she asked about grandpa. And I said, it's like, oh, you don't have any grandpa. Christopher's dad is not alive, and my father is a monster. So our family on both sides is very matriarchal. And I don't know, maybe at school, a grandpa picked up a kid, but the concept of grandpa is foreign to her. And she was asking questions like, Papa, do you have a papa? At 2.5 years old. Yeah, I'm telling you, man. She's a smart one. And I was like, yeah, do you want to see a picture of him? She goes, yes. And I show her a picture and she goes, oh, Papa, that's your papa? Yeah, that's Grandpa. And she was asking, where is he? I was like, no. Grandpa is not a good person. Oh, please, I'm not lying to my daughter. Grandpa is a bad person. And, it was really interesting. And that's one of the double-edged sword of having a kid who's very self-aware like that, because how I act and what I say or do, I have to be careful if she's around because she's looking, And what else? And she's just amazing. She's an amazing child. Oh, on a funny note, let me tell you, on a funny note. So, all right, so me and Chris have this small little game where we talk about, every once in a while, after a few glasses of wine, we kind of giggle a little bit, who Olympia's boyfriend is going to be. So if you guys don't know, homosexuality is about 10% of the population. So roughly speaking, most likely your kid will be hetero. So Olympia's chance to be a full-blown hetero is pretty high. Even the sexuality is a spectrum. But her being like, I like penis, it's going to be very high. And I said to Chris, I said, we have to deal with hetero. We have to deal with hetero on a very long-term basis, Christopher. He goes, yeah, I know. Because we don't watch football. Our entertainment is travel, architecture. Architecture, museum, cigar shops, wine bars. Our entertainment is not quintessential heterosexual male. And I was saying to Christopher, I was like, what are we going to do? I can't see myself on a Sunday talking about football all day. Like, ew. Like, how are we going to connect with this young man? He's going to be like, hello, Mr. Ezekiel. Do you want some football? No. And then we're going to be like, let's go to Italy and look at the architecture of Sicily, something like that. And it's like, ew. Like, you know what I mean? The preference is going to be so odd. And our daughter is going to be super cultured. Sorry, by default. By default. So her experience of what she's going to be drawn to, most likely, it's going to be, it's going to have to be a foreigner. Sorry. It's going to be a foreigner. Most likely will be a foreigner. Most likely won't be an American. Sorry. Most likely will be an European. And most likely going to be someone who's into the arts. Definitely won't be someone who's homophobic because her parents are gay. She has 2 dads. So that limits the pool of the uneducated idiots. So that's probably going to be, anybody that comes from a culture that glorifies homophobia. So most likely not an African man from Africa. Most likely not going to be, one of those Eastern European places that don't like the gays, right? So her pool of husband is going to be very limited because I can tell you right now, she won't tolerate someone who cannot accept her family because we're very family oriented here, right? So if you cannot deal with 2 fathers, it probably won't work. And and also she'll sign a prenup. And so most likely have to deal with someone who has enough intellect to deal with that news. And I say that because prenup is so frowned upon because everybody thinks nobody will divorce. Prenup's about my divorce. How negative. Like, yeah, 50% of people divorce. You think you're special. All right, you're special. But no, she will sign a prenup. So the person has to be okay with that. And she's going to be independent. So you have to be okay with the whole like emasculating and all that stuff, you have to be okay with the fact that your woman most likely will be better off with or without you. Do you know what I mean? So it's going to be an interesting journey of the guy she's gonna date. I'll be looking like that. Yeah, primarily, Christopher is like, my husband never gets worried about anything, but I get worried about everything. And one thing, and I've said this many, many, many times, is that, we live in an Andrew Tate world. Yes. And I have a girl, and the statistics are horrific. So, girls need extra protection. And extra protection means they need to be able to say no and walk away. And fortunately, it won't be my girl. The statistics are horrific. But fortunately, my girl won't be that type of girl where she'll have no options. My girl will be a girl that will always have the option of saying no, regardless of who you is. And so, if you think I'm not aware of people who try to bamboozle their girlfriend, be like, yeah, just change your inheritance and we don't sign a prenup, honey. It's because people who think like that don't realize the depths of the intricacy of protecting, your loved ones. There's a plan in place in case Olympia loses her marbles and doesn't sign a prenup. Honey, you're not getting any of this hard work. In your mind, I didn't work this damn hard, go to my deathbed, just so some randos come in here and take 50% of it. Any Olympia future husband, nope. You can come with your money, sure. Whatever Olympia comes with, it's not for you. Never will be for you. Anyway, what a rant. 2 hours and a half. I don't know. 2 hours and a half. I don't understand how I'm going to edit this. I could be an actor, right? Please, have you seen the acting lately? I could do half the job, 50% off. Hire me. It's 1 p.m. I started recording this at 9. If these owns do 4 hours. I think. Sarah Boone is a mess. Anyway, thanks for watching. I gotta go. What am I doing today? Nothing. Today's Thursday. And I decided not to... Look, I woke up this morning and I was like, I don't feel like doing anything today. I canceled every appointment. Usually when that happens, there's always a calamity the next day. So tomorrow I deal with the consequences, But it's I have a scorched earth mentality. If I'm not okay up here, literally the world can burn. I'll deal with the consequences when I come back. And you know what? You got to do that sometimes. You can't be like, no. So today's one of those days where whatever happens tomorrow, I deal with it then. But today, all I do all day is nothing but make me happy. Goodbye.